My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. Okay, so we just had a little notification come on there we had to get rid of there, so I just kind of get on now just to kind of show a single little simple step we can kind of take into these figures. And for what we have and what we do, I say that there comes a moment when you see that little line I drew around here that comes to the back of the top of the head to make it so they look like they're kneeling. That is what I've come to carve about now, and say that this little work we do is going to make a good way into what we're going to have to show here. Maybe while we're at it, we'll give this little knife a little sharpening. And so I say there's going to be little extra time and work we put in a piece here and kind of make it so it's going to be a bright little thing to show. I am not sure whether the knife is really good for this step or not, and we might have to kind of go about our little cautions. I say maybe use a regular knife for this, see if that does a lot better. I think for this very step it might do so. And we know that it's probably gotten to be a thing where we use the bigger knives to carve these figures out of the tougher, harder, denser woods, but it's going to come down to where we're going to sharpen things out, make them so we see how good a little wooden statue we make to come down to the properties of a good little carving of a character, and kind of make our way about what we all ought to do. I say we got a little basically good project coming along here, and just maybe take a little bit more off of this end to remove extra wood from the around the top to kind of make it so the head needles down a little bit more. We know that this is just one of those things we look to in life where we see just how little lady comes along. We know that in the Bible there were several Marys, and especially how it was in the New Testament. There was not only the mother of Jesus, there was Mary Magdalene, there was the sister of Martha, there was the wife of Cleophas. And so we kind of work our way about this. We also know that there were later in the New Testament come about the sons of Zebedee. There's kind of a place in there where, according to a couple of certain things we read, it's like it was often thought that Zebedee was the husband of Clopas, and that Clopas was the sister of Mary, which would have made James and John, the sons of Zebedee, the cousins of Jesus. That is nowhere in the Bible, though it's often told by certain traditions. There's been times where we read certain things that are told to us by different traditions, and it's kind of like how there was a certain preacher that came to my church that I don't really attend in person but watch virtually online, and when I was watching that guest preacher virtually on Sunday, he kind of made mention of how even though it's not written in the Bible that Peter was crucified upside down, it's often told to us by tradition, because there is a place in Scripture where Jesus told Peter how it would be when he grew older, and telling him that he said this to signify the type of death by which Peter would glorify God. And it's often been said in tradition and in history records that Peter said, "I am not worthy to be crucified the way my Lord was," and requested to be crucified upside down. So we know these days, there's probably more mercy shown than used to be, and how it was with those criminals in those days, when they were hung on crosses. It's not quite like how it is these days. We're thankful that that kind of thing doesn't go on anymore. But I'll tell y'all, as of now, I've gotten it so their heads are kind of a little more bowed like they're supposed to be. I think I'm going to come along, take the same little step here. There may be a few steps we'll skip. There's a certain step where I kind of did all this around one of the Marys and decided that in between videos I would just take care of that on the other Mary and both of the Josephs. Try to, save us a little time in our recordings, and would probably like to say that I'd probably would have preferred to have kept this series maybe down to just a fewer videos that probably could have helped us kind of keep it from getting to be too much or too many in a series. But I think that from what I'm seeing, we might keep it going until we get enough videos to really have an accurate recording of at least most of the steps that are taken. There's probably a few steps I've already demonstrated with the Redwood Holy Families that we may not need to take again with these. And so I'd say that sometimes I might get things done a little faster when I'm kind of away from the camera doing it for a while. That really just helps me a lot to try to keep things in good enough order for the way they should go, the way they should be. Oh, I say, gentle work shall find a happy way to find us and show a little grace in our work and our time and our efforts to make it so a little carving of wood kind of brightens us up and shows us a little love here and there, because all these messes are going to come around, make their ways with us, tell us that we got all the grace of God to work and make what we do, because sometimes, just sometimes, there are going to be things you're going to do in life. People won't see how you do them. They're going to wonder why, wonder how. But, you know, you kind of got to show what kind of special gift you have to kind of make what you do. And there's a certain painter I know who could kind of tell us how we are just all creative in our own ways, you know. It's like, one thing she could certainly say is, people tell her how they wish they could be creative, and she tells them, oh, you are. You just don't know it. You are in some way. Like, each of us have some way we do it, and for each of us it could be in some way that for somebody else it may not be in their best ways. So I come on today just to show that little step. We're going to take things a little further as we go on to another video soon, and that was what I wanted to show for today. Have a lot to say, a lot to do. I'd say that little messes come and go, and don't know how it's going to be the next few days. We're going to have company coming over to the house for the 4th, so not sure how much time I'm going to have to talk for a video. Might have to keep things quiet for them. So I'd say if there gets to be a break, that'll be the reason why. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.